Hello, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about 5 things wives can do and 2 things husbands can do to improve their marriages overnight. And don't charge back now with, wait, what's up? Why did I have 5 things and he has 2? That's not the way you're going to think about this. Just focus on yourself and listen to what I'm saying. There's a reason why there's 5 for the wives and 2 for the husbands. Okay, I'm going to start with the wives. Ready? Number 1, leave him be when he's otherwise engaged. Don't bug him until he's finished with whatever it is he's doing. I cannot tell you how many times I, in the past, and sometimes occasionally, still sort of, like if I'm in my moment and I need something or I want something or I notice something or I have something to say or whatever, I just do it. I just speak. And I don't really pay much attention to whether or not my husband is doing something. But of course, he's not getting I'm not getting his full attention when he's in the midst of doing something. So you need to stop them and ask, is this an okay time? And then respect whatever that answer is. If the answer is no, I want to finish this, and then you say, okay, just wait. I'll wait till you're done. As opposed to just, that is not going to get you. First of all, everything's going to go haywire from there, because the moment you're not recognizing and respecting that he's doing something means that everything after you've gone is going to go south, bottom line. So that's number 1. Leave him be when he's otherwise engaged and ask if it's an okay time to say something. That's an example of just general respect. Number 2, instead of nagging or complaining to make your point, just state what it is that you want. So this is a big thing that I work on with wives in coaching, is that they really, really want something and they get frustrated and they don't get in control of their emotions. So it comes out as a nag or a complaint, when really what you're saying is that you want something, but you're doing it in a way that he can't hear you. So all you have to do is flip the switch, and instead of nagging or complaining, you're just going to make a statement of desire. You're going to say what it is that you want. So let's say, for example, that the house is, some aspect of the house is just a constant disarray and you can't take it anymore and you need help, cleaning it up, whatever it is. Instead of, you would say, oh, I would feel so much happier if this space right here were just really cleaned up so that I could think straight every time I walked in the room. That's it. You're not telling him to do it. You're not complaining that he's not doing it. You're just stating your desire. He will hear that. Believe me, he will hear that. That doesn't mean he's going to rush out to do it right that second. But the more you communicate in that way, where you're literally just using a statement of desire, the more he's going to be able to hear you, because his deep desire is to make you happy. He wants you to be happy. So you have to tap into that with a statement of desire rather than a nagging complaint, because that's never going to work, as most wives know from experience. Number 3, sit next to him when he's watching TV without saying anything or talking or asking for the remote or commenting on what he's watching. Just sit there. One of the things that I've noticed about men is that just having you in the vicinity and then allowing the space for things to get said is incredibly powerful. So you might not think you're doing anything when you go to just sit down next to him, and maybe you don't even like what's on TV, but you're still just sitting there. And the reason for this, you actually are doing something. You're letting him know, hey, I just want to be with you and do what you're doing just to be near you. That's all. I don't need anything from you. I'm just existing in your space. And he hears that. Even when you don't speak, he picks up on that. He feels that. And it's welcoming, just like the statement of desire, as opposed to the nagging. You're welcoming him into your space, and he will be more responsive in the ways that you're looking for him to be when you meet him at his level and he understands your language. Number 4, recognize something he does well, whatever it is, and praise him and thank him. Don't just let the really little things that make your life better go unacknowledged. It may not be something that you and I need as women That's okay. The reality is they do. And it makes men want to do more of it. I mean, I shouldn't say that no women like to be appreciated. They do. But there's so many things that we do, I think, that do go unnoticed, and we carry on. It's just, I just don't think that we need appreciation for sure, but if you don't give it to us, we're going to keep going, kind of thing. Whereas I just don't think it works that way with men. So just constant praise and appreciation and thanks for even the smallest things will go a huge, long way. And you'll notice with all these things, you have to get past your self-righteousness and your anger and your resentment in order to do these things. I would suggest doing them at a time when you're feeling really good about him and about your relationship, and then just pile it on, because it is hard to do these things when you're feeling resentful. And my hope and goal is to get people to not get to that place of resentment, because once resentment settles in, it's impossible to do anything positive for the relationship. So, and number 5 is straddle him often, preferably naked. Now, this isn't sex per se, although obviously if you're naked, it's sex, but I'm a very playful person. My husband and I are very playful in general. And so there's a lot of touching going on and a lot of playing going on. And part of that is just like, even if you're not having actual sex for X period of time because things are really stressful, let's say, and we're going to do another video on that because that's actually a really big problem in marriages. So I'm not talking about the sexless marriage. That's seriously another video. But just, life is getting in the way. And you're not able to do that as often as you'd like, let's say. This is something that you can do in the meantime that will keep you bonded, even if you're not doing that. So you really don't have to be naked when you're straddling him. What I'm trying to say there is just be more playful and touchy and, sit on his lap, be affectionate is really what I'm getting at there. Affectionate. Affection goes a huge, huge, huge long way with men. Okay, so those are the 5 things. Leave him be when he's otherwise engaged. Don't bug him until he's finished. Instead of nagging or complaining to make your point, just state what it is you want. Make a statement of desire. 3, sit next to him when he's watching TV without talking. Just sit there. Just exist in his space. 4, recognize something he does well and praise him. And then 5, straddle him often, preferably naked, which is really just another way of saying be playful, be affectionate, be fun. Okay, you ready? Here are the men. Here are the 2 things for the men. And I think, ladies, you'll understand why. You'll understand the 5-2 thing a little bit more here, because these 2 things are really big, huge. And and I know that when I say them, you're going to be like, yeah. Number 1, show up. That's it. Show up. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you can't do it, say you can't. Don't say you can when you can't. Just state the truth at all times. I mean, if you agree to do something and then something comes up, reschedule. But whatever you do, don't disappear or fail to follow through with what you said you would do. Your wife's reaction when you don't show up is not unreasonable. It's actually hormonal. She needs to know that she can count on you. And if she feels that she can't, her desire for you wanes. Like it happens physiologically. She can't even help it. So if you want more sex, okay, showing up is the fastest route to get there. Again, if you can't be there and you can't do it, that's okay. Just state that you can't and then say when you can. Or if you can never do it, say, no, I'm never going to be able to do that. There probably won't be too many of those things. And I know the word no is really hard for a lot of husbands who want to make their wives happy and want to be able to say yes as often as possible. But no is a really important word if you want respect from your wife. If you tell her what she wants to hear, you will not garner that respect. All she wants is you to just tell her yes or no and then act accordingly. Okay? That's it. That's number 1. Number 2, take initiative. Take initiative. Make things happen. Don't wait for her to make the plan. Those 2 things alone will go very, very far overnight. It might take a few nights, a few days of putting it into action before she sees the new you. And there are other things, by the way, that I could put on your list, but because these are so huge and they're the number one thing that women complain about. I'm saying that if you just focus on these two, I promise you, your marriage will improve overnight. Show up, mean what you say what you mean, tell the truth. 2, take initiative, make a plan. In the same way that you do it at work, you probably are much more of a leader, let's call it that, at work. And you kind of have to make things happen, and you don't wait around to be told what to do. It's the same thing. You want to do that at home in your relationship with your wife. So that's it. Those are my 5 things wives can do and 2 things husbands can do to improve their marriages overnight. And I've seen it work with my coaching clients, so I know it works. It's not really if it works, it's rather whether you're willing to do it. So I'm saying give it a go. It's like a little challenge, and see what happens. And let me hear from you afterward. I'd love to. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking on subscribe below. Thanks. See you next time.